Today is the 26th of August 2025 and I'm standing outside the castle of Kronborg in Elsinore. I'm going to take a little walk today from this castle to another castle, Fredensborg's castle, and it's about 24 kilometers to walk. Kronborg is a Danish Renaissance castle that has played an important role in the history of Scandinavia. It is located on a promontory about 500 meters northeast of the center of Elsinore on Zealand. The castle was included in the UNESCO World Heritage List in the year of 2000. The castle is a popular tourist destination and has about 200,000 visitors each year. Så jag kan visa att det är lukket. In the 1420s, the Danish king Erik of Pomerania decided that tolls would be introduced in the Öresund for ships that were on their way in or out of the Baltic Sea. To make the system work, he had a strong fortress built at the narrowest point of the strait. The fortress was called Krogen. When Krogen was considered insufficient to defend the entrance to the strait and enforce the payment of the toll, King Frederick II decided to lay the foundation stone for Kronborg in May 1574, and the castle was completed in the year of 1585. In 1658, during the Nordic Wars, the castle was captured by the Swedish forces. After the Peace of Roskilde the same year, when Scania became Swedish, the Danes improved the castle's defenses. In 1688 to 1690, an advanced defense line was created around the castle. Shortly afterwards, a new series of ramparts were built around this. After its completion, Kronborg was considered the strongest fortress in Europe. Today the castle is probably best known for being the location for Shakespeare's play Hamlet. Well, as I said before, the castle is closed, so it's no idea hanging around here. It's an hour till it opens. So we have to take a look at it another time. Now we start walking about 24 kilometers to first Gurre Castle and then Fredensborg's castle. So, if you want to, come on. Before we leave Kronborg and Elsinore, let's take a quick look at some interesting things nearby. Right next to Kronborg is the old shipyard, and in one of the old shipyard docks is now the Maritime Museum of Denmark. As part of the museum, there are some old ships moored in the harbour. Along them is the old lighthouse ship number 17, Getzer Rev. The lightship Getzer Rev was built at N.F. Hansen's shipyard in Odense, from where it set sail in 1895. In its early years, it was located north of Elsinore at a place called Lappegrunden. In 1921, it was placed at Getzer Rev, south of Denmark, where it remained for the rest of its service, with the exception of the period 1940 to 1945 during the Second World War. The lightship was located midway between Germany and Denmark. During the communist dictatorship in East Germany, around 50 refugees from East Germany came to the lightship. When it was realized that East Germany was following the communication from the lightship, the message, "We need more water," was sent. It was a message that refugees could be picked up from the lightship. Lightship 17 has been hit several times during its long service. The most serious incident occurred in 1954, when the ship was hit from the port side and sank in a few minutes. The ship was salvaged and put back into service until it was decommissioned in 1972. A.P. Møller Foundation for General Purposes donated money to the National Museum so they could buy the ship. The lightship was moored in a Nyhavn in Copenhagen until 2018, after which it was moved to the historic harbour in Elsinore. In 1882, a new chapter in the history of Helsingør began, when Helsingør Skibsværft og Maskinbyggeri, shipyard of Elsinore, was founded. This was the starting point for the industrialization of the city. However, the shipyard was closed down in 1983. Some of the shipyard's old buildings have been converted into a cultural center with a theater stage, library, museum, restaurant and conference room. The cultural shipyard was opened on October 10th, 2010. Another important step in the industrialization of Elsinore was that Vibro Brewery, founded in 1840, began selling bottled beer in 1896. We leave the harbor of Elsinore and the castle and old shipyard behind us and start our tour first through Elsinore, then up to Gurre Castle, the ruins, and after that to Fredensborg. There is just one more thing to take a look at before we leave Elsinore. Sankta Maria Kirke forms the southern wing of the Från monastery in Elsinore, which was founded by Erik of Pomerania and built by the Carmelite order around 1430, shortly after the introduction of the Öresund toll. The four-aisled monastery from the Middle Ages is the best preserved in Denmark, although the oldest buildings were destroyed by fire in 1450. After the Reformation, the church first lay deserted and was used as a travelling stable. It was about to be demolished, but as there were many foreigners in the city, Frederick II gave it to the German-Dutch congregation. In 1541, the monastery was given to a hospital by Christian III, which through inheritance and gifts became a very rich foundation. The monastery was completely renovated in 1900 to 1907, and the church frescoes were restored in 1992. The organ facade is from Johan Lawrence the Elder's organ from 1634. The well-known composer Dietrich Buxtehude used this organ when he was an organist in the church from 1660 to 1668. Well, let's stop talking and start walking. The Royal North Zealand National Park is a Danish national park that was inaugurated in 2018. The national park encompasses some of the country's most species-rich deciduous forests, including Gribskov, but also Esrum Sø or Are Sø, with an area of approximately 26,250 hectares. It is the second largest Danish national park. After a short break with a bit of chocolate and some water, I'm ready to continue. I walked 5 kilometers and I have about 4 kilometers till I'm going to take a new break at Gurre Castle, and then after that I have about 13 kilometers to go to Fredensborg. I have some animals in front of me, some horses, and there was a sign that said that I should keep away from the animals. It's not easy here. Let's see, I try to walk up this way and see if I can pass behind them. So I managed to get around the horses, and now I'm getting out. Here's another gate, and let's see where we are going to go after that. So we have got out of this part of the national park. Now we're going to take the road up to Gurre Church, and from there on to the ruins of Gurre Castle, where I'm going to take a little longer break and get something to eat. I have walked 7.25 kilometers and reached Gurre, the church of Gurre. I'm going to take a short walk up to the church and take a closer look, see if it's open. And after that we will continue to Gurre Castle ruins, and it's about 2.5 kilometers up there. Gurre Church is a church in the Helsingør diocese. The church was built in 1918 and has room for 160 churchgoers. It is located on a hill in the northeastern corner of Ein, about 1.5 kilometers east of the village of Gurre. The church organ is modern from modern times and has 22 stops. Gurre village itself, as I said, is located 1.5 kilometers west of the church, and we will pass the village on our continued journey. But it is not located along the European long-distance path E6, so we will follow a part of the Danish pilgrim route before we return to the original route. Let's see if the church is open. No, unfortunately not. So we just have to continue. En meget enkel, men smuk kirke. In English that will be a very simple but pretty little church. I was lucky, there was a nice man coming and he offered to open the church for me, so I could see I can see what it looks like inside. And this is nice. According to the man, it's a very popular church to get married in, and I can understand that. We leave Gurre Church behind and continue on our way towards Gurre Old Castle ruin. No, I can't get down there. Or maybe. Well, I have to go through the graveyard again, but that's no problem. So I walked 9.8 kilometers and I reached the ruins of Gurre Castle. Now I'm going to take a break here and before I continue. Gurre Castle is today a ruin. Only the great tower has been preserved at the height of 3 meters, and tightly around the tower there is a smaller ring wall with small corner towers preserved at the height of about 3.5 meters. The rest of the castle is just foundation walls hidden under the grass. The older castle, which probably dates from the time of King Erik Mainved, 1286 to 1319, consisted of a central tower, which was built on a natural height in the landscape, and a fort to the north, also built on a natural height. It is possible that there was a moat between the two ramparts, which was, however, removed in connection with later reconstructions. The tower has not had access from the ground floor, but only from the upper floors, and is a so-called keep, a castle tower where the inhabitants could be protected while battles raged outside. The later reconstruction and expansions are attributed to Valdemar Atterdag, 1320 to 1375. During this reconstruction, which can be dated to the 1360s, the central tower was rebuilt and a ring wall with 4 corner towers was also built. At the same time, the ring wall surrounding the central tower was surrounded by another larger outer ring wall. The entire castle area thus covered an area of approximately 42,000 square meters. Outside the castle area itself lies St. James's Chapel in the east. Only the stone foundations of St. James's Chapel has been preserved. In 1364, the chapel received relics that were given to Valdemar Atterdag during his visit to the Pope in Avignon. It was at Gurre Castle that Valdemar Atterdag, who had been king since 1340, died on the 24th of October 1375. During the time of Frederick II, king from 1559 to 1588, Gurre is said to have been demolished, and the stones were probably used to other buildings in the surroundings. I've sat down here at the old castle in Gurre, take a break and get something to eat and drink. Unfortunately, there is restoration work going on, so parts of the ruins here are closed off for visitors. There's nothing to do about that. I have to come back another day and see what it looks like when it's ready, when the restoration is finished.